Wonder if you could hear me. We're doing a live, and we're going to be working today. You're going to be working with me. I don't know if that's going to be interesting for y'all, but we're going to work today while I do it live. I am chair bound, and let's see. And I'm in a different location. I'm not in my long arm room because Lena's hurt. Lena hurt her toe. Let me see if you can see me. Is anybody here? 3 viewers. Can you hear me? You're watching me, Sarah. I'm going to. Are you on your computer working, doing school? I'm going to be making boxes. Hello, Rose, Robin. How are you today? I have decided to do a little live stream today because I got hurt and just thought I could do a live stream. I'm going to be staining wood. I'm making a yo-yo quilt. Those are hard to do. I did this. Let me share. I'm taking a Sue Spargo class. Can you hear me good? Yes, you can hear me good. Okay. I'm taking a Sue Spargo class, and so I'm kind of been chair bound. And so I worked on this. I worked on, look how beautiful this is. Oops, can you see it? I worked on this right here. I think this one's my favorite right here. And then yo-yo quilts are hard because they're hand, but I did this the other day. These take forever to make. But I'm doing the Sue Spargo class, and so I hurt my foot, so I've been sitting around a lot. I learned how to do these stitches. Honestly, this is therapeutic, believe it or not. It's a lot of just kind of like, I don't sit very often because I'm running around a lot. And so this has been something so fun. But I wanted to kind of like invite you into my life a little bit because I want to be making earrings, and I didn't know if you guys wanted to participate in it or not. Those are from my bobbins, but look at these earrings. Aren't these beautiful? Let me see it. Then, anyway, so how are y'all today? So I hope you don't mind that I'm going to be drilling holes. And, well, maybe I'll just be staining wood. Look at these boxes. I'm going to make boxes. Look how beautiful that texture is. And so I want to stain this. I was trying different laser settings. Look how beautiful. My daughter Sarah's seen them. But made a whole bunch of earrings. And since I'm chair bound, I thought, well, hello from North Carolina. You hear me nice and clear. I'm using my laptop to see how she works. Yeah, well, and so I was making these earrings and I need to stain them. So I thought, well, I could do a live stream. Look at this. I want to show you this. Look at that texture. Aren't those pretty earrings? Look at this texture. So I thought maybe we could chat while I'm trying to accomplish something. Trying to accomplish something. So what are y'all working on? What are y'all doing? Ow. So I'm going to be staining. And then y'all can tell me, yeah, I got hurt real bad. Happy toe girl. Okay, do y'all want to see my jacked up toe? She's jacked up. I don't know if she's broken. Okay, some of you are traveling from Colorado to Myrtle Beach. I hope you keep self-service too. I mean, you're on vacation and you're watching me. Why? Watch me later. You're traveling through Kansas. Look at these. Aren't these pretty? Look at that text. Look at the... As you can see, thank you, Robin, for watching me. So sweet. So I'm going to be making earrings, or planning earrings. And then look, let's see. I'm making wood boxes. You see it? And then I learned, which it charred the living heck out of it, I'm learning how to cut thicker wood. So this is going to be una cajita. Cajita means, yes, I'm going to be selling my earrings. I'm going to do a, what am I going to do? I'm going to do a craft show. I've never done craft shows. I don't know if you do well. I know like my mom did craft shows and she didn't do well in them. So it's never been a thing for me. But I made these sweet earrings. Look. So I'm going to share with you. So this is the style. The first style. And then just how you cut it, you can do that one. Let me see. And then you cut it more, you end up with this one. Isn't that neat? That laser, man. That laser. So I'm going to turn these into earrings, and I'm going to see if I could sell them at the craft show. But text me. Message me on Facebook. Sell you a pair. I'm going to sell them real cheap. I don't know. I intend to sell them cheap. But I wanted to stain them. So I have like a little girl. I'm going to stain these. So I got my bowl with my earrings. And I wanted to make keychains. What do you think of these? You need quilt block earrings? Yeah, I was going to do those too. But I don't know what quilt block to do. I'm trying to just figure this stuff out. I just finally figured out what settings to... I don't know if this is too much light. To laser these in. And look, it literally, you could see traditional blocks. Yeah. But this event that I'm doing, it's not a quilters event, so you know what I mean? I didn't think like quilters would like, or non-quilters would like quilting blocks. So I was just trying to make something that's unique and different. Look, and then this is where, real light laser. This is where it's really, but a friend of mine did a craft show at a quilt store because they had a craft show place event. And if you're going to do a craft show there, I think you have to do really unique and different things because people know how to sew. So to sell quilts there, I don't think you'd be as successful. But I think if you did like notion boxes, for example, boxes for your notions, or boxes for scissors, or let me see, some of the, like, these are, since I'm doing the Sue Spargo class, I bought her set, and kind of got upset because I spent like $35 on her stuff, which her stuff is kind of neat, it's unique, but you can't get the darn pen. through the line to mark. So I can't mark on them or use her plexiglass things. You can't mark. It doesn't mark through. And if you use a pencil, you know the pencils that have the lead, they pop inside the line. So I ended up making my own with a thicker groove so that you can put it in there. Hello, Kathy Wilkins. How are you? So there's Crystal Mars here, Robin, Happy Toe Girls, Deborah Williams, Rose Salazar. Sorry, I'm not good with names. My daughter Sarah Magdalena's here. So yeah. So keep in mind, nice seeing you too. So I was gonna work and sit here by my lonesome, and I thought maybe I could do a live stream. Y'all want to see my nasty, messed up toe? Are y'all interested in seeing gruesome? If you don't want to see my toe, I get it. I don't want to see my toe. That poor thing has suffered a beating. It looks like someone just started hammering the heck out of her. Oh, let me show you this. What do you think about this? Isn't that neat? This one's stained. I think I like the look of the cut, and this is why. Look, because if I put this behind there, look how pretty that would look. So it would be behind a wall color. Isn't that neat? So someone asked me to do this, and I did a mock-up. This is my first one, and I broke it there, here. And I think, well, I was learning. You know how you're learning and you make mistakes? And then this one, I fixed it so it didn't break here. And I decided to take the rose off. There you have it. Engrave it, not cut it out. Yeah. The first one, my second one. First, I think this was too busy to me. My second one. Can you guys see it completely? Because I have a split screen right now so I could read your messages. Yeah. They're pretty. Which y'all like better? See how beautiful, like, if you have a colored back wall? So I'm going to be making these soon. I'm going to start a Shopify, and then if you guys are interested in any of this stuff, I'm going to have it on there. Then, what else do I have? So, like, these are spacers to mark. Let's see. So these are spacers so that you could mark. Let's see. You can mark your center. Because I got the Suspargo ones. I can't get a pen through them. And so these are these are just tries so that I can mark the spacing. I did these for myself because I was kind of frustrated that I couldn't mark. I was so mad I couldn't even mark what I needed to mark on the. Is it barking? Do you see me? No? Let me see if I can film it. And then you can get through. I don't know. So these are just tries. Believe it or not, I'm just trying to. I did one on wood. I did this one on white plexiglass, and then I got black plexiglass. I'm in the playing stages, you know, the honeymoon phase, and then this is kind of like a better version. But I wanted to do, with Suspargo, spacing is really important. Let me do it. So I wanted to be able to, I don't know if you could see what I'm doing. Come on. So you can mark right there. You can mark this area and get your spacing. And then you see the marks. So I'm just, yeah, I got a laser. I better use it, do something with it. Because not, honestly, you guys have machines and sewing machines, embroidery machines. Use them. I mean, make sure you use them. Then it's worth whatever money you've invested into them. And this is something that I'm making. Anyway, I'm making a whole bunch of neat stuff. Let's see what else do I have. I think these look like ornaments. What do y'all think? They're supposed to be an earring. I'm looking for a large template from Marine Star Quilt. All confined on small block templates. Kathy Wilkins messaged me. Let's see what we can figure out. But I'm not promising anything. I promise. I'm not promising anything because I'm learning. I'm trying to figure stuff out. As a matter of fact, I didn't do this, but someone sent this to me. Isn't that adorable? This is, I think, for cross stitching. Someone sent this to me. I thought this was so neat. What a great idea. And then I don't know. So I wanted to bring you along to my life. Oh, let's see these. What do you think about those earrings? Sorry, I know it's not quilting related, but I'm sorry. No, life is more. I do other stuff, and it's okay. I think creative people do more than one thing. I know I've met a couple creative people, and they do painting, they do crocheting. Look at this. I got these keychain fob things, but I don't like the plexiglass one. This is kind of bad, but it came with it. So we're trying. So what new thing are you guys trying? Share with me. Because I'm going to start painting some wood. You guys are still there? Can you see me? So I'm going to try English chestnut. And I'm going to stain some of them. I'm going to try different stains on different ones. And you know these little things that I use to clean the sewing machines? These are really great to put stain on, believe it or not. Let me see. You're learning your long arm and your robotics. What kind of long arm did you get, Crystal? Some of you are asking me about what types of long arms to get, and honestly, it's and why I got a gamel. Well, why did I had a dream of the gamel, and I pay attention to my dreams. Had a dream I had a gamel Statler stitcher, and I remember the only reason I got a gamel is because I saw Linda's Electric Quilting. They had a gamel on there, and so I just got the information on the machine. I never knew about Innova and other long arms. I just saw gamel, and I met a lady who had a gamel, and she had had her gamel for like years, and she literally said that her gamel was a workhorse, and I intended to get a gamel for business. Hello from Michigan. You're not late. You have a Grace Unique 21 Pro, and then up here she had a HQ Amara with Pro Stitcher. I think any machine will work. The only thing I can say about gamel is that it has not failed me yet, and I've had it for 14 years. So that's why I'm like, but Gamel, did you know how much they are now? They're $48,000. 48 grand. $48,000. $48,000. Like, damn. So I mean, you could get, it's just Longarm. It's just quilting, right? But one of the reasons why I really like Statler is it has a thick metal frame. And sometimes I've had quilts that are so long and so thick that I think on some other machines, maybe the I've seen some long arms where the frames and the pickup bar are really thin metal, like a thin tube. And so what I could say about Gamel, it is a steel tube. So look, I'm staining some wood. So how do you like your machine? I bought a Janome Longarm 2 years ago, and it's nice for normal computer quilting. It's not an industrial machine, but it's so pretty. That's great. Honestly, if you love it and you're using it, heck. And I'm not saying that like the H. Amara or any of y'all's quilt could be great for work for a business. I'm sure they would all work great. I just for like what I have is what I'm using, right? But I got it because a lady told me that she wanted that they were workhorses, and I knew I was going to use it for a business. Let me see, I'm staining. So how do you so what are you guys learning? Hello from another viewer, Michigan Gamel Classic with a 14 frame. Nancy, you're gonna love your machine. Any machine you get, any machine. Like there's this lady, she's called the Quilting Fairy. What is her name? Jamie Madison. And she's a huge testament of it doesn't matter what kind of machine you get. What matters is the work you put into it. Yeah, and if it's not in your price range, it's okay. You don't need to get into debt. I don't want to get it. It took me 7 years to pay my Gamel off. And it was a grind, let me just say. The Gamel was a grind. She was torture to pay off. And I know a lady had her Gamel and she got a loan on her Gamel, and she was having a hard time paying her Gamel off. I even think she sold it so that she could get a smaller machine, and she's doing just as well with a smaller machine. As a matter of fact, she sold the Gamel, paid her loan off, and was able to buy another machine with it and pay it in cash. And she got like out of the debt, and she became debt, in the sense of debt free from the loan that she used. So I'm not saying Gamel's away. I'm just saying she's hard to pay off, especially if you have a high interest loan. And let me just say, it took me 7 years to pay it off. I know right now $48,000 is more than my house costs. I know. But let me just say this. Right now they're $48,000, and you can, I know, and I paid $38 for mine. Ellie with Robotics is a 10-inch frame. Quilters. I started with a Juki mid-arm. Grace King frame and love them. You could really, and this is an option. If some of you are on here and you want a machine, and it's not Gamel, Longarm University sells people who have used long arms, and they are at a decent discount. I know a lady who found a Gamel I don't think it was a Statler. It had a different type of robotic system, and she paid $10,000 for it, and it was a classic. And what happened is the husband's wife died. Yeah, and you could 48 grand for a Statler off the showroom floor. And let me just say this too, like, not advocating for Statler or Gamma or anything. Like, if I want to sell my Gamma at this current time, I'm sure I probably could get $30,000 for it, even though I've used her for, how long have I used my Gamma for? I have used my Gamma for 14 years. And she does reimburse you back. You can make your money back. The only thing is you have to kind of work real hard to get clients, and that takes time. So getting your money back doesn't come quickly. It takes time to get your money back. So yeah, but she does pay you back. I'm just saying. Like my embroidery machines, I paid. I think for one of them I paid $7,000 for, or $6,000, and well, no, they're like $12,000, right? I'm paying one. I paid $14,000 for her, and I'm making payments on her. And they're, you know, if I work her, it's not an all expense. I am making some reimbursement back. You bought yours from a friend, Nancy. Great job. I love the free motion quilting and pantographs. With the laser light, yes. So there's people who are messaging me on Instagram. If you see me on YouTube and message me on Instagram, I'm not really big on, I don't know. I just sometimes don't post on Instagram, so if I don't get your messages, I'm sorry. I'm more on Facebook because I have a Facebook page, and I'm not social media. Do you like that color wood stain? I'm not a fancy pants social media person. So let's see. So how many of you here are doing longarm quilting as a business? And if you are, how do you like it? You know what's discouraging? I'm going to share some of the drawbacks of having a longarm quilting business. I have a whole bunch of quilts that I need to quilt for myself, and I haven't even quilted them because I don't have time to quilt because my longarm is being used for my clients. I don't know, working for people and making money motivates me, and sometimes when I'm not working, I don't want to be upstairs longarming, if that makes sense. So I have to play tricks with myself where I'll put one of my quilts on before I work on my clients' quilts, and so I could at least get one of my quilts done. As a matter of fact, I just shipped 2 quilts to the lady who was my sales rep. I just sent her 2 baby quilts that I finished that were mine. I'm so excited. Kathy, you just do yours for fun? Yeah, it is. If you do it for profit, it becomes a job. It is a job. And I had a friend come and visit me for the week, and she was so excited to be longarming, and I'm like, okay. Because it's my day-to-day grind, you know what I mean? It's my grind. And to her, it was like something new and different. So it was like, amen. Yeah, beautiful. You like that wood stain? I'm not going to stain that. I'm going to stain it with a different color. Natural. So I'm using English chestnut. I like the darker wood. Okay, so, and then you had only one customer quilt. Honestly, you don't even have to just tell people what you do. That's how I do it. I'll go to quilt stores and I just tell people what I do. Because everybody asks you, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a longarmer. And they're like, what's a long armor? I go, this is what I do. And I give them pictures of quilts that I finished. And I just share the pictures. I did some fabric with some organic beads. Wow, Kevin. That's cool. That is really cool. I didn't know you, but I've seen people do it. I literally bought the dye myself. You know that dye fat where you could dye fabric? And it just, it didn't take, just keep telling people what you do and share what you do. Share what you do to people. As a matter of fact, I literally shared what I did to this brother in Christ, like just a random guy. He was his name was Brother Robert, and he says, "Yeah, my sister's quilt." And the neat thing about it is, his sisters came to me and I did all their quilts. You know, when I talk about how my husband lost his job and I didn't know how I was going to make it, and because the economy was so bad, she was my first client. She was one of my first clients that brought me, and she brought me 5 of her friends, and that was just the neatest experience. Let me see. And honestly, she was a blessing, and she's still my client. She's still, to this day, my client. So sometimes just telling a random person what you do. What do you think? Can you even see that? Is that too dark? Let me put gold on her. Look, she was like this. I'm gonna stain. I'm gonna do different stains. So just tell people what you do. You don't even have to. Just share what you do. Everybody's interested in what other people do, and just share, and people will start coming to you. And then if you do good work, the people who you do work for are going to share the quilts that you've done for them. And then my business is really word of mouth. YouTube has helped, though. Doing YouTube has really helped and opened the door for different types of clients. Like, I have clients that are willing to ship quilts to me. Is that too dark? Is this too dark? Anyway, so just tell people. And Nancy, it took me a year to start having clients. To be honest, it took me a year to start getting decent clientele. And I'm going to tell you some tricks that you could do, girl. If you're starting a Longarm quilting business and you want more clients, give deals. In psychology, because my major is in psychology, they say that when people see a for sale sign, like a special, something like that, that the brain starts dumping dopamine in the brain, and the brain starts wanting to buy things. And we have classically been conditioned through our society to buy things that are on sale, and you'll tend to buy more when things are on sale. So like, and think about all the, like, Walmart and Kmart. Well, if you have a Kmart, we don't have a Kmart, but Target and different places, you'll go to places because there's a sale. So consider, if you want clientele, create kind of like a for sale environment. For example, if I sell my earrings, so let's say I sell these earrings for $10, right? It's a stretch, maybe. People are not going to want to buy the earring for $10. But if I do a special, buy 2 and buy 2 for $15 or buy 2 for $16, I just reduced the price of the earring by $2. but I want to sell it. So it's just the kind of person, I did a video a long time ago. Are you the kind of person or the kind of business model where you're willing to make $100 one time or make $1 100 times? What kind of business person are you? And in America, the mindset of America is make $100 one time. So a lot of Americans tend to overprice because, like, I've gone to places where they want to sell these for $25, right? It's just a wooden earring. They want to sell it for $25. But what happens is you're only communicating or being able to grab a small community of people who can afford a $25 earring or a $25 wooden earring. It's wood, right? So if you sell these for $10 and then you do a special, like if you buy two, like two different ones, two for $16, the person says in their brain, oh my God, I'm saving $4. So the earrings are really $8 each. People are more likely to spend that $20 than the $10 one time. And so when I first started my business to get clients, I would do summer specials, because in the summer I wouldn't get a lot of work. And in my summer specials, I would literally give almost a 25% discount on quilting. Or I would give, like, if you bring me 3 quilts, I'll give you batting for 1 for free. So the quilter who knows the value of batting would say, oh my God, that is a deal. If I go to her, I'm saving $25 or I'm saving $30. Now they're saving that money, but I would get my quilting material for a steep discount because I would get it wholesale, right? And so I would probably pay for that batting that I was giving. I would probably pay like $15 for a king size quilt or queen size quilt. And so I was only losing maybe $10, but I was getting 3 quilts. And in those 3 quilts, I was probably making, let's say at the time, because it was when I first started, I was making like $100 a quilt. I'm making $300 and I'm only giving up maybe $15 to $20. And I looked at the fact that I wanted the machine working because, you know, like I said, I was paying the machine, and the more the machine worked, the better it was for me. And so you can also be so set in your ways that you like, no, I've had people talk to me and they said, I'm here to make money. But if people, and this is one of my best experiences. There's a quilt shop down the street. It was a quilt shop, yeah. And she was a cute quilt shop. And I was at the time doing embroidery. And I ended up doing embroidery for different associations like BVYA, youth associations, different baseball communities here in where I lived. And I remember telling her, and she had an embroidery machine. I told her, you know what? There is a community here. I literally was offering her my clientele. There's a community here that if you reach out to them and give them a good rate, they'll come to you. Well, she's like, I'm here to make money. And she literally told me, and this is the $100 one time kind of person. She says, I don't touch hats unless I make $20. Well, not everybody's going to want to pay $20 to embroider a name on a hat. So what I did, see, you have to be smart. What I did is I told the community at the youth associations, if you bring me the box had 17 or 18 jerseys, even maybe 22 if they added the team mom, another coach, and a whole bunch of people. I said, if you bring me the box, I'll do the shirt, the hat, and the name on the hat and the number on the hat I did the name for $3, the number for $2, and I would embroider it, and I would do the jersey on the back for $5, so for $10. That's how I started. For $10 a jersey, I will, but you have to bring me the team. And so they would bring me a box of jerseys, and I would have, let's say, 20 jerseys, and I charged $10. That box was worth $200. And because people love me because of my rate, they started coming to me. And that was like just a unique special, like, right, baseball season. It wasn't all the time that the people who had businesses and who had like small businesses, they saw my embroidery work and they started coming to me. Now, of course, in embroidery, I charge, if you bring me more, I charge you less. If you bring me less, I charge you more, because it's more work to do less items. So it's more work to do one hat, it's more work to do one shirt, it's more work to do one bag. But if you bring me 20 bags, the work of setting up is quicker. That initial first one takes time, but once you have that one bag, the switch up and the rhythm of it, you could do 20 bags quickly. And so I would give these specials. And so if you want clients, there is a community of quilters that if you did, like, I still have the thing, if you bring me 3 quilts, I'll give you batting for free. But I have to get 3 quilts in my hand in one shot. And so what my friend's brother did is he told his sister what I was doing, and that was such a good deal because other quilt shops and other long arms would not do what I was doing, that she ended up bringing 3 friends. She ended up bringing 3 friends, and I think at that time I did, I'll do one for free. So these 3 friends brought me 3 quilts, and what they did is they split the bill. And I didn't care how they did it. All I cared is I got 3 quilts in one shot. And sure enough, I would get clients who would bring me 3 quilts in one shot, and that was like, and of course I only gave them a discount, or the steep discount rate for the one quilt that was the smallest. And if you give a deal, any kind of deal, like free thread, right now, long armers are thread gougers. Give a deal with thread. Like, there's a lady who came here from California. She couldn't get any clients, and I said, you're not getting any clients because you're not giving any special. And you can do it however you want to do it. So you could say one quilt half off, but you have to bring me 3. Or, all quilts 25% off, but you have to bring me 4. However you want to do it. It's just how you want to handle. And because of that, I don't do that anymore because I already have a decent clientele. But because of that, and I still give specials. Like, if you bring me 2 quilts, I'll give you the thread for free for one quilt. I want to be a blessing to my community, because I know this is an expensive gig. You know what I mean? And it's not it's not food, it's not a need. So what happens is, for a quilting and embroidery business, it's not a need. And so you have to do something that creates a unique element to your business. For example, I was going to do a video on this, and maybe I'll do a more in-depth video. I had a lady who came to me, and she went to 2 long armors. She came to me, and she went to another lady. And here in the community, the price is the same. So 0.02 or 0.021, 0.025, it varies depending on the kind of quilting, the density of quilting, and stuff like that. But in general, it's 0.02, 2 inches of square inch. And a lady came to me and another girl, and the lady probably just charged her for the thread, for the quilting, and charged her the natural going rate. But what I did is, she brought me 1 quilt. You have to do stuff for your people. She brought me 1 quilt, and let me share with you my little tricks and tips, people. I have patterns that I found at an estate sale. I paid 16 cents for them. But the lady who had the patterns paid $8 a pattern. So I went to an estate sale and I found patterns. And I go to Amazon and I bought little oil bottles. These little oil bottles, I think for a set of 10, cost me $5. So this isn't an oil bottle, right? I love these oil bottles. You can use them for Elmer's glue, for basting, for applique, for, you know, instead of getting that Roxanne's glue, you could use Elmer's glue in these oil bottles. So anyway, these oil bottles I think cost me like 50 cents. Didn't cost me anything. And I find unique, cheap things. For example, these are a little bit pricier. These little needle minders. But like, I thought these were cute, right? Cost me $2.50. I bought like 4. What else did I get? What else do I have? For my clients that I love, I'll give one of these. Meaning clients that come and bring me a whole bunch of quilts. They get this. Let me see what else. So I'll buy, let's see, like these. Different types of stuff. And then some of my clients who have really invested in me and blessed me, I will buy, now this is not the thread, I'll buy Connections threads, Essentials thread. They come out to like $2 a spool or something like that. And what I'll do is if a client comes and brings me a quilt, even if you're my first client, my 50th client, my 100th client, and you've come back that often, I always give my clients something. I don't care. Anything, something. I'll get them. Hold on. Kind of hurt. So like, and I'll get them a whole bunch of different stuff. For example, where was I? This company has stuff for sale. Can't remember the company right now. Like hand candles. When they're on sale, I bought a whole bunch of candles for like $4, or I'll buy these little hand things for like $2. These are things that your client will use. It doesn't have to be like a notion or a quilting thing. And what I'll do is when my client comes to me, I will give them 1 or 2 of these things. So anyway, the client went to 2 different longarmers, me and another lady. And the longarmer, I think, probably charged her, you know, the rate. Didn't give her any special, like a thread special. She didn't give her anything. And guess what? That client came and brought me 12 quilts. She brought me 12 quilts. 12 quilts. And every time I give her something, these are like, I give her my favorite stuff, okay? These are my favorite needles. They're my favorite needles from Joann's. They have like a little, oh, sorry. Hopefully I don't delete y'all. I've done this as my favorites. I lost the needle. I've done this as the favorites. These at Joann's, you can get a whole bundle of them with a 50% off discount. They are $6, but for 50% off, they're only like $3. So I make sure I go when they're 50% off, when they're cheaper. Now these are quilt store, so they're really expensive, but these are just as good. So I'll give my client a brand new box of this, plus this, like an oil thing and this. It costs me maybe $5, and every time they come to me, I give them something to tell them that I appreciate them for coming to me. Now, they don't have to come to me again. I just want them to know that I appreciate them. And that client who went to 2 longarmers at the same time, she's my client now. And every time she comes, I give her something, and I don't care. She literally says, don't give me anything. But I'm like, no, I gotta give you something. And the more you're a long-standing client with me, the more the blessing will be. For example, a friend of mine made all these masks. These are the best masks at the time that I thought were most comfortable. So every client I had during COVID and all mask wearing, I gave them one of these masks, and they said they love these masks. And let's see, I bought this. It's a purse kit. Now I'm never gonna make it, never. But this is for a client who likes making purses, who comes to me, and I paid a lot for this. I shouldn't have bought it, but I bought it on the emotional whim of everybody buying these things. But if I have a client who comes to me, oh, I'm sorry, the bag's making noise. But this is the kit. And so if she comes and I find a great client, one of them is getting this. What I don't use, and you could do like great easy stuff like these. I only paid a couple dollars for. They're great little like sewing things. Are you guys still there? So it's how you treat your clients. But that was such a wonderful lesson for me. Like, I had competition and didn't even know I was being, I didn't even know she went to do different long armors. I thought she was just coming to me. But she ended up bringing me 12 quilts. And it's because of how I treated her and how you treat people and how you appreciate them. And if you appreciate them, they'll appreciate you. And they'll want to support your business. And they'll want to support you, ultimately. And that's what you want. You want their support. And so, and then when you do that for them, they'll recommend you. Sorry, I'm sweaty. This is sweat. They'll recommend you to other people because they see that you treat them well, and people don't recommend you unless they know that when they recommend you to someone else, that the person is going to a person that's not going to hurt them or cheat them. So be considerate, like, of if and you can. I grew my business that way, where you like go find deals. Like Bath and Body Works has these real cheap, and then they have the lip gloss. Find Connections thread. Their threads are like $2. I'll buy a bundle of, and it'll be like $24, but it's a bundle of either 10 or 12. So it costs me $2.40 each one. I'll buy like bundles of these, and they're cheap. You could get a whole bunch of cheap stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's not cheap stuff. It's useful things that your long armor or your quilter will use and enjoy. And when every time she puts on that lipstick, she's going to think about you, the long armor who gave it to her. I remember going to a church, and I'll never forget this. The next day after I went to the church, they made bread, and they lasered on the bread like a cutting bread. They gave you a bread, and they gave you a wood cutting board, and they lasered the name of the church. It was so beautiful. I hung it on my wall, and they didn't ask for money. They literally probably did this to all the new members. I literally started going to that church because the fact that they were willing to give me something without expectation of return was such a blessing to me. And to this day, I still think about that church that out of nowhere dropped off a bread, and I know they prayed for it. They prayed for that bread. They prayed for the bread. And they and I'm sure they prayed for the plaque too, and I had the plaque, the bread cutting plaque. It was a wood cutting thing that had their name lasered on it. It was so beautiful. I always thought of that church, of how neat that was. And so it's how you handle things. What did she say? How did you break away from family and friends who don't understand the quilting process? Honestly, it's your dream. It's your dream. When you have a dream, For example, my embroidery. I had a dream of it. For some reason, I wanted to do embroidery. Well, God put it in my heart to do embroidery. But I remember my husband was like, his family was like, well, she sure is taking a lot of money for that machine. Well, and honestly, it was none of their damn business what money me and my husband spent on what. But the issue with what the issue was is my husband's family borrowed a lot of our money. They took a lot of our money, and my husband was their bank that they took money from. And so when my husband and I decided, and I wanted the embroidery machine, now you're tapping into their money that they can't borrow because we were using our own money on us. And well, and then they didn't even borrow; it was given because they never paid anything back. A couple of them did, but the other ones didn't. And so this was my dream, right? Something for me. My husband didn't even understand it. He even said, you know, Lorena, even if you don't do anything with it, well, whatever, at least you're happy. And it just kind of like, this was my dream. This is what I wanted to build. And when you're building something that's yours, not everybody's going to get you. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says, my people perish for lack of vision. I said, when you have vision, you have to see like ahead of what other people see. You have to look beyond where you're currently at. And I had a vision. Like, I didn't just want a 6-needle embroidery machine to have one. I wanted to help the family make money. I wanted to bring an extra income to the family, but initially it was an expense. But I remember when I did that special, like, bring me the team and I'll do it for this. I remember praying for God to bless me, to give me work. My husband walked in and he was like, what just happened? And I go, yeah, the youth association is bringing me all these quilts and embroidery work. The naysayers, as a matter of fact, when my sister-in-law says, well, how much money can you make on embroidery? $2 a shirt? What, like, whatever, like, nah. Nah. But she didn't get my vision. Like, I wanted to make money from home so I didn't have to leave my kids alone. I wanted to make sure that I was available to my kids. She didn't understand that I didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job where I had a mother who worked so much that she never spent time with us. And I wanted to make sure that my kids knew that I was available. So I had a different vision. And I had a lot of people kind of like, some did it publicly, nodding their head, like, oh, she's dumb. And then some people did it behind my back, you know. And if this is your dream, it's yours. It's yours to like manifest it. It's yours to work with it. It's yours to create it. Like, you know, I just spent quite a bit of money on 2 lasers, and I know myself. I know that I am going to make it work. I am not wasteful with what I receive. So, yeah, but it's your dream, Kathy, and only you can make it happen. And you don't need to have, okay, YouTube. I started posting videos on YouTube and no one cared. No one. And it took me a year to start getting paid by YouTube. It took me a year to get to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I grinded this girl. I grinded her. I grinded this YouTube community. And there's times where I was like, dang, what am I doing this for? I wasn't getting anywhere. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares when you're at the bottom. Everybody starts to care when you start having success. But you have to care when you're at the bottom, because this is your start, and appreciate it and love it. Appreciate it and love it, because this is your beginning. This is where you're learning about thread. This is where you're learning about tension. This is where you're learning about how you figure things out, and pray about it. Ask God to help you. Ask God to bring you the clients. Ask God to bring you. I ask God about everything. I literally asked God about the stairs on my back house, and God answered me. So in this channel, I want you to know there is a God that wants to help you and support you. And he wants to invest in you, and he wants you to know that he loves you. And I asked God to give me an embroidery business, because a whole year I was paying off that embroidery machine and I didn't make a dime. But let me just say this: success is not based on it's not this kind of success. Like, I know a lady who all of a sudden out of nowhere on YouTube she got a following, but her video quality is horrible. She doesn't know how to edit. She's all about making the business of it. She's not about the community of it. And so she asked me a couple times if I would do something that was not morally ethical. Okay, so she gained her subscribers in one day because someone helped her, and then she wanted me to do something morally unethical, and I told her no. And because me grinding out that whole year of trying to get 1,000 subscribers cost me 365 days, it didn't cost her anything. So when you're doing your dream, if it didn't cost you, then you're willing to throw it away for nothing. If it costs you, you're willing to protect it, guard it, defend it, work for it. And so you just do your dream, and then all of a sudden success will come through you grinding that thing out. Did you know that on YouTube there was nobody sharing screwed up quilts? Nowhere. There was nowhere. And I thought maybe I was just the screw up long arming and maybe it was me who was wrong. And the truth is, there was a community out there like me who was struggling like me, but no one would share it, and I started sharing it. I love this. I saw a video on Facebook where someone was Frankensteining batting. That's my words. Those are she saw my video and using her video on her Frankensteining batting. Now, she Frankensteins batting differently, but she used my language, and it made me laugh. Like, dang, that girl copied my words. She copied what I said. But what a privilege to encourage other people to do what you do. But I want you to know that I also want you to do it with integrity. Like, I want you to like work for it, like earn it, because in earning it, you protect it. So the lady wanted me to do something that was not to my benefit. It was all to her benefit. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I worked too hard for this. It was too like I posted 4 videos a month for a whole year, and I was lucky if I got 100 views. I was lucky if I got 10 views a video. And it's hard. And if it's not hard, it's not worth it. And so put your all into it. And then if you work hard, sooner or later you'll get successful, because you'll get better at what you're doing, you'll get smarter, you'll get quicker, you'll get better at editing, whatever it is you're doing. And then success will come, but the issue with success can come corruption. People will try to corrupt your success. And you need to be such a hard worker, and then it cost you, and it was hard, then you won't let anyone take it from you for nothing. And so it's your dream. And like I would love, on YouTube right now, I only have maybe 21 something thousand subscribers. I would love to have 1 million subscribers. But at the same time, what kind of pressure will that create for me? What kind of corruption can come in? Success can make you immoral, and it can also make you prideful. So I'm like, Lord, wherever you have me, I'm just going to do it with all my heart, and I'm going to do it right and do it right for you. And if you do that, I promise you, if you do things right in the sight of God, the people will see you doing it right, because they're like, man, you're different. And because you're different, people will want to come to you because they know that you're not going to screw them for money. You're not going to take advantage of them. And you got to be motivated. I believe your motivation should be more to please God than it is to please yourself with money. Your motivation should be, for me, that's my motivation. When I was with this lady and I was doing work for her, can I stand before God and say I did her right? And that's important, I think. More important than whatever money you're going to make off that person. And because of that, people are going to feel safe with you. They're going to trust you, and they're going to bring you more work. And if I had a lady and she's a jerk. I literally quilted. She was another Longarmer. I quilted her quilt for her. And I used my Longarm because her Longarm something messed up. I used her Longarm. I ended up having to buy the pattern, and I ended up winding a bobbin. She was such a stingy psychopath that she unwound the bobbin and put the thread back on her bobbin. She put the thread back on her spool. And I was like, dang, you're such a miser, you're such a taker that you're not even willing to let me have like a half a thing of bobbin thread. When I bought a pattern, I put your quilt on my Longarm, I quilted it for you for free. Like, really? This is good behavior? But let me just say this, that person, she doesn't have a good clientele base. Her clients don't return to her because they see her be that way with her clients. And so if I give you this little 50-cent thing, and of course this is $12, and this, and I bless you, I'm showing my client my motivation is the relationship with the client, not their money. Not their money. And when you bless people and you do kind gestures of kindness, people will respond the same to you and to your business. So yeah, the girl literally like rewound her bobbin and put it back on the spool, and I'm watching her be a taker. I'm watching her be a user. I'm watching her be like rude. But that's how she is. And then she would call me and ask me, why don't I have clients? Why do my clients not return to me? And I said, because you're like a price gouger. You're out for yourself. And look, what is Walmart saying? Walmart said, and Walmart is out for themselves, and Target, but they say, we're here for you. We lower our prices for you. We want to help you, the community. And so we go to Walmart because they're the cheapest and they want to take care of us. And the truth is they get it so discounted, they're still making money, but they're saying they're giving you the best rate. And so if you do the right thing by your clients, I promise you, you'll have a clientele that will love you. I have the client that came to me when my husband lost his job. Her name is, I don't know if I should share her name. Anyway, I love this lady. The other day she came over to my house and I quilted the quilt for her. She paid me, but I want to love her. So I gave her, a bag. I gave her fabric. I like wanted her to like walk out of my house blessed, and because she spent time with me, and at the same time I wanted to thank her for supporting me when I lost when we lost up to 2/3 of our income. And she was a vital part of feeding my kids because she brought me work, and she brought me her friends, she brought me her clients. And so it's how you want to do it. For example, like I'm making these little earrings. I'm probably gonna sell them. I think $10 is a lot. Probably gonna sell them for $10, but I'm gonna do a special. Buy 3, you buy 2, $8. If you buy 3, $6. You know what I mean? I'd rather sell it than have it and take it home. It's how you run your business. And if you're just, I had some ladies say, well, I want to make money on this thing. I'm sure, I know everybody wants to make money. Your whole society is all about screwing people over and making money. But like State Farm says, we want you to know we're here for you. And so if your clients see that you're out to just price gouge them and you're out to make $100 that one time, that client will pay you $100 and never come back to you, because they just won't come back to you. And that lady who rewound her bobbin on her thread spool, I was like, dang, you're even tight about thread. And I understand, like, it cost her, but it cost me my time. I quilted it for her. I bought the pattern that she wouldn't share. Like, this is weird. People are weird. And if you treat people that way, as a matter of fact, when I talk to her, I try to invest as little time as I can with her, because I know that all she is out for is to take. So look, what do you think? Do you like the dark wood? Or do you like the light wood? Dark wood, light wood. Some of you are here from Baltimore. Thank you for enjoying my videos. South Carolina. And it's hot in Texas too. It rains, so now it's like humid. We're in a sauna. And so love people, be good to people, and just like a friend of mine, I did one of these, and because she was so sweet and kind, I made one for her. And just, I honestly think I got the laser so I could bless my clients and do stuff for them. One of my clients, I went ahead and I made her a ruler so she could test it out for me. Yes, they're both wood. You like the light wood? All right, you guys like the light wood. Light wood. They're pretty, right? Let me see if I have a lighter wood. So, but it's how you want to work it. Not a lot of people can buy Louis Vuittons. Hello from Iowa, Linda. But that lady literally, I mean, what? These little, they're $7 originally, $7.50. I think I got them for like $4. I got a whole stash of them, and I gave her one, and it's a hand cream, and I gave I got the lip glosses from, like, I do stuff like that, and I got candles. And God, if you come and bring me another quilt and then bring me another one, like, I will go out of my way. I used to make these. Woo-hoo. I love this thing. I think if I do a quilt craft guild, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of these. This is out of quilting that I quilted, my practice quilting. Here's the front. I got everything that's in here is scrap batting. So I'm using, we have Kathy from Alaska. Woohoo! Alaska. Is it hot in Alaska? I'm sure Alaska is pretty cool. I don't know. Kathy, is it hot in Alaska? So I make these. When I made this one, I ended up making 10 of them because I was trying to go through all my scrap fabric and batting. So this is stuff with waste. Not waste, but you know what I mean, stuffing. I used my old quilting practice here. The only thing I paid for was this zipper and this vinyl, which is real cheap, and this ribbon. And I made like 10 20 of them. I don't know how many I made. I made tons of them. And when a client would come, I had them in a drawer, and I would give my client one of these. And she's like, what am I going to use it for? I go, you put your scissors, your notions, like your rulers, your screwdriver, you put it all in here, and it hangs on your sewing machine so you don't lose your stuff, and it's a pincushion. I love this thing. I love this thing, and it didn't cost me anything to make it, and it didn't cost me anything to give it, and I use it all the time. And I know that my as a matter of fact, my client, one of my clients who's a regular, I gave her a sewing machine. I'll even give away a sewing machine. What ended up happening is I bought a sewing machine and I didn't use it. And the neat thing about it is, she says, I was at a store. She told me she wanted that sewing machine. And I said, hey, I have it. I have it under my table. And I said, you can have it. And at the time, she was going through chemotherapy. She was going through cancer treatment because she had breast cancer. And this is the client that blessed me when my husband lost the job and brought me all her friends for me to quilt for them. And it was such a privilege because she blessed me economically at the time when we were really going through some hard times. She gave me food for my kids and let me work for her. And she was my first client. That it was such a privilege. Like when she was going through something, I went and I blessed her with the sewing machine. And like I said, she came over the other day and she's like, I still use that sewing machine. I still sew on that sewing machine. It made me so happy. Like, and I guess what I'm saying, as a long armor, you have an opportunity to have relationships with people, and real relationships. Real, not only is it a business transaction, it can be a friendship transaction. It's a relationship. And the people who invest in you, there's going to be a time where you're going to be doing well, and you'll have an opportunity to bless someone back. It's not just a grab and go kind of relationship. The neat thing about quilting, I think quilting is a community base, and so should your Longarm business be. You are, you piece together, you quilt together, you share stories together. You're a community that works together, and your clients can be that. I have clients that died on me, and their husbands who brought their quilts to me called me and said, Lorena, I want you to know that my wife is not here no more, but I want to thank you for all the quilts you quilted for her, and all her grandchildren and children ended up having quilts because you quilted them. And that client, I would give her, bless her, say, if you bring me 3 quilts, I'll do one for free. And for years, I think every 3 months, she brought me 3 quilts, and I would give her one for free. Like, that girl got blessed. But she got all her quilts done before she died. So it depends on how you want to run your business. So, or how you treat your clients. And you are your business. You are your community. Like, I love quilters because a lot of the quilters that I quilt for, they're doing it so they could give it away. We're givers, most of us. A lot of us are. We make something so that we could give something. And so, yeah, I'm making these. I don't know. I already made like 5 of them, and I gave them all away. I gave them away. I'm not a business person. You shouldn't ask me for business counsel because I'm not a business. I am a business person, but I think it can't just be about money. Money. It has to be about the people who you're working for. But like, I'm making some boxes, and I'm going to make some quilt boxes, some really pretty quilt boxes. And I'm going to put like quilting designs on it, just different stuff, and have it in a stash. And maybe like for my clients who come to me on a regular, I'm going to make ornaments and other quilting designs or something. And then when they come to me, just give them an ornament and thank them for supporting me that year and and maybe making an ornament a year. I don't know, whatever. Yes, Anna, yes. After a while, you'll charge full price, and you deserve it too. But you could also do you could do things differently, like make different things and bless them that way too. I charge full price for all my clients now because I've gotten so busy that I can't give like a free quilt anymore. I don't have time to do a free quilt anymore. But what I do is, like, a lady brought me 4 quilts and I gave her batting for free for one of them. And so it's I'm still charging for the full quilting, but I'm giving a batting for free. I'm still charging for the full quilting, but I'll give thread for free. And then I still, even if I give thread for free, I'll give something. Hi, Linda from Tennessee. Nice to meet you, Miss Linda. But work hard for what you do. And honestly, like, I shocked my husband when I started having 10,000 subscribers. My husband was like, "What? 10,000 people watch you?" I have had probably like 3 million views, 3 million something, 500 views or something. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because you can have all the money of the world and treat people like trash. Or you can have no money of the world and treat people like gold. And I think you're a better person. You could be either way, or you could be a poor person and treat people like trash, or you could be a rich person and treat people like gold. I think kindness and loving people and serving and doing things with manners and personal integrity, like, do I feel good about myself for doing what I did? I think the times that I don't like myself is times that I've done something and I looked at myself and said, you're better than that and you should do better. And I hate feeling, I hate feeling like I hate the feeling of I did that person wrong. One time I overcharged a client, and I sat and I thought about, like, I overcharged her, and then the next time she came to me, I literally gave her the next quilt for free, and she's like, "Why are you doing that?" I go, "I didn't know I overcharged you because I was gonna raise my prices, and then I raised my prices with her, and I raised my prices for like 2 clients, and then I said, you know what, you don't need to raise your prices, it's not time yet." And so what I did is I gave her a free quilt for that. I just didn't feel right for raising my prices at the time, and I didn't need to raise my prices. It's just what happened is someone was telling me that I should raise my prices, and that and I listened to that person, because that person is very focused on money. And so sometimes when you're doing your dream, you need to run your dream the way you want to run your dream, because you're going to have people, for example, like you said, I don't charge them the full cost. You want you to feel great about the work you're doing for them, and you want them to feel blessed. So both of you are blessed, right? It's just kind of like parallel of being a blessing, but receiving the blessing of work, right? And so, but there's people who don't see that. For example, if I was to show them this box or whatever, this, they would probably charge, well, charge $100. And I don't know, I can't see myself charging $100 for a piece of wood that only cost me $7 for the whole sheet, or $10. Well, right now wood's expensive, it's like gold. I just paid for a sheet of wood $17, right? $17 for a sheet of wood. Now I understand I have to take in consideration the use of the machine. I have to take in consideration the time that I invested. Okay, I understand all that. But to charge $100 for a piece of wood that only cost me $17, that's ridiculous. That's not fair. Others for expectation of being blessed. Yes, serve others with no expectation. Be right. There was something was going on a couple of days ago, or a couple. I was telling a friend of mine that I'll let you screw me. As a retiree, you're gonna love it because you can't make a decent income. Look at how beautiful that is. You like the darker wood in the back and the lighter wood in the front. Well, expert type. It's just how you want to do it. I mean, the blessing is at this time I could do it this way. I'm sure there's going to be a time where I have to consider that money differently because I have a husband that works and I work too, but my money is not the main source of taking care of the family's needs. I'm sure when I have to make sure that my income is paying the family's needs, I'm sure I'm still gonna be the same. I'm still gonna be the same. I'm still gonna buy like stuff and bless my clients, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could not bless people the way I do. I like blessing people. I like. I don't know. I like doing the way I do it. I don't know. I like telling my clients that they're valuable to me, that they're more valuable to me than their business. And I have some clients where they started coming to me and their children needed work, and I shared with them, hey, go to this company. I'll talk to so and so. Like, it's not just a business transaction. It is a relationship with me. I have clients who are my friends that I want to fellowship with, that I want to get to know, and I think that should be important too. Yeah, I work alone a lot, so I need people around me. But yeah, just love what you do and do it with all your heart. And if you love what you do, what you do can be a blessing to others. But that I will need to do a video on how I maintain my clients. And that lady, I'm sure she did wonderful work, just like I did. I think we both had the same Longarm quilting machine, but also too, you have something to offer that's uniquely you, and that uniqueness will keep people coming to you. And also too, like now, what I have to offer, which I didn't think was a thing to offer, is like I put my clients' quilts on YouTube, and they love it. They love watching their quilts on YouTube. Computerized Longarm. I'm trying to learn. Play with your toys. What I'm sharing with you here, it's the reason I'm sharing with you these is because for a while when I first got the Longarm, I was so busy trying to make sure that I had money for the payments. So I was making sure that I was working that Longarm so I could pay off the lasers, that I wasn't using them. And then it's not worth having if you don't use it. And so play with your toys, play with your machines, schedule it like your job. I used to have the Longarm, and for 5 years, I barely used it. You wouldn't know that, right? I did use it, but I barely used it. Maybe turned it on once a month. And then I got to the point like, God, why did I spend all this money? I'm not using it. I could have used the money for a car, or, finish paying my house off or something. And sure enough, I decided to schedule it in every week. Like every week, you're going to turn that machine on and do something with it. Let me see. Let me read your stuff. I've been working on it, quilters. Yes, I finally got to catch one of your lives. Hi, embroidery medic. Medic. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for watching me. I'm glad you love embroidery. Me too. I love me embroidery. I love embroidery. And honestly, you want to hear tips on what machine? If I were you guys and you want to start a business and start making such a chain from home that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, heat press vinyl. Heat press vinyl. I'm serious. You can start making money on heat press vinyl. I recommend you buy yourself a Cricut. And where is that? Do I even have it here? No, I don't have it here. Buy yourself a Cricut, for example. Because I do I do embroidery, vinyl, long arm quilting, and I'm getting into the woodwork. Okay. A lot of you I'm a mom of 5 kids, right? I couldn't get a job because then I wouldn't see my kids. And then if I did get a job, I would be like paying the daycare center, so it wasn't worth it. And so, I'm sorry. So the reason I did embroidery is so I could support, well, I didn't need to make money, to be honest. I wanted my own money. I wanted to make my own money. I wanted to, my husband did so well at the time. Look at that. I'm staining her. I like the light wood. And so the other day, oh, and I don't have a picture of it. With vinyl, no, I don't have a picture of it. With vinyl, I'm having, here in Texas, you end up having your doors kind of shift because of the heat. And it was been so hot and I just wasn't on top of it. So my back house, the door on the downstairs, the wood expanded, and so the metal kind of peeled off. And so when you open the back door and close the door, it was starting to peel up, the metal part that's on the door. And so my contractor was probably going to charge me quite a bit of money to fix my door, but I did banners for him with vinyl. And so with vinyl, you could buy a Cricut. I know, and I would recommend you buy a maker, not the brand new one, but the maker, the new one, and you could get them on sale at Joann's or HSN, a whole bunch of different places. And you can make yourself, get yourself the cutter, and initially you don't even need the heat press. You can literally make decals for cars. And for a sheet of vinyl, the sheet of vinyl is only like $3 for decals, and you could sell decals, and if you even sell them cheap, that you could put on cups. And I recommend you use specialty vinyl. It's called specialty vinyl, right? Specialty something vinyl that you use for decals, and you could use this stuff that you could stick it on. Initially, it's a small investment, but you could do car decals, all different kinds of designs, and use it on the Cricut and sell the decals for $3 a pop and sell those like suckers. As a matter of fact, you can sell them at high schools, the decals for like football, baseball, cheerleading, put 2000 that they graduate, class of, whatever, make decals. And literally, in decals, I did the trucking decals. Did you know the trucking decals where the heavy equipment, no, the 18-wheelers have to have a decal where they have that tag number, DOT number. I think that's what it's called, DOT number. I ended up doing a decal job, and I ended up doing, this guy had a trucking company, and the decals that he was buying, they were charging him $18 a decal for his decals. I did them for $11. I ended up making $350 on decals. And the vinyl only cost me probably, I think I used maybe, for a foot, I did 2 decals, so I made $22 for a foot of decal, and the vinyl cost me, I think, probably $6. Maybe cheaper. I think I paid $5 for decals, and I made $22 for the material. Of course, you have your Cricut cutter and stuff like that, but you can make money on anything. anything. And I made $300 in one day on decals. So you can go to your school and you could go to a cheerleading community and say, hey, I'm selling decals for like $3 each, $5 each, and it only costs you 30 cents to make them. Like, if you want to do a bit, that's the business. Long arm quilting is an expensive gig, and if you can sell decals or do something, like I started with embroidery because I knew I could get clientele for embroidery. In the way I worked it, I knew that when I got the long arm, I can do long arm quilting business, because if I could get embroidery clients to come to my house, I knew that I could get embroidery. And because I know I can get long arm quilting in my house, I know I can get people to buy this other stuff that is like, and don't get into a big long arm quilting business if you don't even know if you can even do a small, because that's a lot of loss. The lady who's a miser, she's fake, and she thinks that she has a great machine. She thinks if she has a great machine, she thinks she'll have a lot of clients. The machine's not what matters. So some of you who have not a Gamble but have a decent, Tin Lizzie, it's what you do with it and who you are that makes the business. It doesn't matter that I have a Gamble and that's why I have the business. Because some people, I'm going to get a Gamble because Lorena, she has a Gamble and she has a business and she looks like she's doing good on YouTube. And so the Gamble is the answer. The truth is I got the Gamble thinking that I could quilt like Linda's quilting. And I got a Gamble thinking I could quilt like some of the people who had Gambles. And the truth is, when I got the machine, I couldn't quilt like none of them. Because I wasn't them. It wasn't the machine. It was me. I had to learn and earn that. I had to learn the skill. I was able. Yes. 100. Yes, girl. Go, Crystal. Yes. You can make money on anything. Yes. Nana, I'm so proud of you. I'm about to negative 4 and that fits my space. Yes. And I'm just saying the Gamble is what I got. And let me say this, at the time, let me be honest, there wasn't Tin Lizzie's, long arm quilting was not a thing. In 2008, Linda's Electric Quilting was the only company that was out there, and the other company that was out there was the Minis. Who are they? There was only 2 companies out there. No, three. Gamble, Innova, and then the other one. Fawns and Porters were sponsored by them. What is it? It was that, they call it the Mini. It has a dove on it. I have to move. What's Stitcher? APQS. APQS. Yes, thank you. Woohoo! There was only 3 long arm companies at the time. APQS, Nova, and Gamble. Those are the only 3. This Baby Lock didn't have long. Baby Lock just came out with theirs. Bernina came out with a long arm a couple years ago. They were not a thing. The white long arms that are out there, Uniques and stuff, they were not out there. The brother long arms, I think that's from Unique, I think. They didn't exist then. Either you had APQS, Innova, and Gamble. And I believe when I got mine, Innova wasn't so popular. It was more APQS and Gamble. Those were the 2 that you could compete with. And the only reason I got Gamble is because I saw it in person from, yes, the Millenniums. Yes. There was, long arm quilting was this not thing. This was not a thing. Long arm quilting, there was not even chat videos on long arm quilting. It did not exist. You had to buy Linda's Electric Quilting. She had a class on the internet where you had to buy to learn what she taught. Yeah, and I believe the Millenniums and the Holy Spirit, what was it? The Innovas, they were not computerized when I was getting my machine. They were not computerized, they were manual. Most of the long arms were manual at the time. And so you had to know the skill. And only Gamma was one of the first people that came out with a computerized system. So in 2008, 2008, that was not a thing. Computerized systems like you have it now, that they were not options. Let's with a handy quilter. Yeah, APQS, man. I remember that they were. It was APQS, Innova, and Gamma. And Gamma was at the time the only ones that had computerized system. No one else had computerized system when I bought my machine, and I only bought the computerized system because my husband said you're gonna get old. You're gonna get old. You're gonna get old, and your back's gonna hurt, and your shoulders are gonna hurt. And and he was right. He was right. He was right. I'm getting old, and my shoulders do kind of hurt now. I have to be careful with arthritis. Not that I have it, but that's something to think about. I'm like painting paint. Hold on. Let's see. Which one do you like better? This one. You get back. I did stain that one. Maybe I need to stain more. So, y'all have a blessing. It's a blessing now because sometimes you guys ask me questions like, why didn't I look at other places? I was like, because Innova, I know it was manual. It was not a computerized system. I know it was manual. And my husband's like, no way. You're going to get old. Honestly, Crystal, you have an advantage. I started longarm quilting, it's like 14 years. I'm 50. I was 38, 36, 36. Honestly, start your dreams now. Do your dreams now, and God will give you time for everything. So that was 15. I started sewing young, which I think my aunt Isabel, when I would go to see her in Mexico, she would make me dresses, and my grandma would make clothes. So that's where I got my sewing from. And what are you guys saying? Even though I remember all of this. Practice free motion. You should see Jamie Madison. Dang, that girl. That girl. Her work is beautiful. I'm like, oh my gosh. Jamie Madison's work is beautiful. And she has I don't know what machine she has. It's not a fancy, expensive machine. And she's had it for a long time. But her work looks like a computer did it. But she's been doing it for years. Retire. So is your retirement quilting? Hey. The neat thing is because I do what I do and I love doing it, I don't care if I ever retire. I really love what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, when I don't go in the back house, I feel like I get into like a funk. Like I want to get into a depression, I think. Because I haven't been back there. Let me see. I have an APQS. Yes, they have a lifetime. Yeah, APQS. Um, there's a quilt store here locally that's selling their APQS. She has two different ones. I believe one's computerized and one's manual. Um, because I asked her the other day if she was gonna sell her machine. "90% of the quilting I do is for community quilting." Yeah, we're givers. We're givers. I think the quilting community is real special, and I hope it stays that way. I think, like I have a client, and she comes to me and she's wonderful, and every single quilt that she's done, she's given away. And her quilts, I've had a lot of her quilts on my YouTube channel. Her quilts are gorgeous. I would not give those suckers away. And she gives them away to couples who are getting married. It's a way of her having a ministry. What do you think? And she's come to me for years, and I know how much. I can't imagine how much she paid for the material, but I know how much she pays me to longarm them. And let's see. Sorry. What do you think? You like this stain color? How about this? I stained these red. Look how weird. Look, I stained this. Can you see it? So I just stained this one a different stain. And then look, on the back, it looks different. It's just, this one has the same stain. Kind of weird how, like, let me see what I love. Honestly, I was doing a lot of work for Quilts of Valor, and I'm a little bit jaded. I'm a little bit jaded. But I was talking to someone, and they said something that was real sweet. Like, if you're doing a quilt for a veteran, and you give it to a veteran, that's a Quilts of Valor. It doesn't have to go through Quilts of Valor. Let's see. Let me see. So, how many people are working here? Like, how many people want quilting business? When you turn it into a business, it changes. Just letting you know. Like, I had a lady who came from out of state, and she had a great time. But to me, I was working. It was like, working on the longarm is not a great time for me anymore. It's a job. So I have a different point of view of it. And so yeah, doing this, I know it's a job, but I'm having fun because it's not a job to me because it's something different. I'm sure, like, when I'm doing it for hours on end and I have to get it done because the client's harassing me for it, it changes. Yeah, I'm really kind of hurt by Quilts of Valor. I really am. And it wasn't Quilts of Valor that hurt me. It was one of the members. And she disrespected me. And respect is a big thing. And I think, I also think, like, if you have a longarm, or if you have an embroidery machine, or if you have any type of business or any type of equipment, you have to be careful with people who will take advantage of the fact that you have this equipment. Because, for example, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff for Quilts of Valor, and then my embroidery machine broke, and it really changed. I had to pay like $300 to have my embroidery machine, and I had the money. That's not the thing, but what I found is that when you do a lot of donated work, you're also putting wear and tear on your equipment. You're also and you're putting wear and tear on your equipment that you're not getting paid for. And so here my equipment broke down on me, and I had to pay a guy come and fix my machine. It really made me think about, like, here I am donating all this work, but it's, and in my mind, it doesn't cost me because I already paid my machines off, and I paid for my thread. It's not a cost, but the truth is, it's still a cost, because if it breaks, it costs me. And so I realized, like, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with who you invest in, or the people that you give your investments in. And it's not just money, because a lot of us think about investment as money or monetary. It's you're investing your time. Because when I was doing the Quilts of Valor, I remember quilting like 10 quilts. And it's crazy. You know, quilting 10 quilts in a week, it's a lot. It could be exhausting, and I'm just a button pusher, but I'm walking back and forth, finding alignment, making sure, putting the leaders on, putting the batting on. You know, it is work. And so I quilted the 10 quilts, and then I was like, why am I so exhausted? And then I had to do my client's work. And by the time I got to my client's work, I was too tired to even want to work on that. And so I realized, like, I need to be careful, like, on your energy investment, on your time investment, who you give your time and energy to. Because as you get older, some of you are young here. I remember being 20 and nothing bothered me. At 50, well, I remember 20 and cleaning my house. Like, now I have to clean portions of my house because I can't clean the whole house like I used to. I still can, but I have to have that day where I have a wind and I have an energy about myself. And so sometimes you have to just be careful. Like, not only are you investing your time, you're investing energy. And there was times where I wasn't spending time with my family because I was doing stuff for Quilts of Valor, and so everything has to give. Everything gives. So manage what you do. And let me just tell you what I do now. I do my clients' work first, and then I do my charity quilts. I do quilts for that. I get paid for what I do before I do anything for free. And then if everything that I've done for my clients is done and I have extra time, I will do one charity quilt if I want to. And but also too, like, hey, while I'm doing charity quilts, I'm not quilting my quilts. So I'll do like 2 charity quilts a month if I want to, if I have time for it. But if I'm going to do 2 charity quilts, I'm also going to do 2 of mine. And so I'm going to prioritize my quilts because I don't want my kids to throw away my work. I want to use it. A lot of work with someone else to get all the credit. Yes, I know, Robin. That happened to me too. I ended up doing a quilt for the Sweet Honeybee, and the people who didn't even work on the quilt were standing with the picture with the lady who got the quilt. And they didn't take a picture with me and the lady. And I was the one that provided the fabric, provided the pattern, provided that we all pieced it together as a group. And I was the one that quilted it and bound it and made a label. And 2 people who didn't even do any work on it, well, one person specifically, and they're sitting there with the person with the picture, and they took credit. And it sucks. It sucks. That's why, like, nah. I'd rather do my own quilt. After that happened is when I left. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was the one doing the financial investment. I was the one doing all the work. Yeah, that hurts, right? It hurts. But it happens. And honestly, the truth is let me just say this, God knows the truth. God knows the truth, so don't worry about it. And God will bless you. And I think because that happened to me, when I left that group that I was at, I got so much work. And I also think that God was taking care of me because once I left the group, now God knew that I could do my own work. But I learned some hard lessons. How many quilt tops do you have hanging out? Like, what do you mean? Like, how many quilt tops do I do a week? When I'm really busy, I get about 10 quilt tops done a week. When I'm not so busy, I do 5. I could do 3 quilts, 3 depending on the size. I could do 4 quilts in one day. If they're baby, throw, and twin size, I could get 4 done. How many quilts have I not done on my own? How many quilts have I not done on my own? I'm itching myself. I'm trying not to stay myself. I have like 25 of my own quilts that I haven't quilted. not proud, okay? Not proud of myself. But what I'm trying to do now is if I'm working on my clients' quilts, I have 2 of my quilts put in front. And also too, Mana, Robin, I'm very careful now what quilts I do for people. And I also think like God trusts you with your equipment to do the right thing with it. And I think if you don't do the right thing with your equipment, you could lose it or it could be taken from you. Let me see. Are these matching? Yeah. Okay. And so if he trusts you with equipment, you have to be your personal tops unquilted, 25 unquilted tops. And they're beautiful. And the reason some of them are unquilted is because I want to do custom work. Yeah. Just recently I finished 2 baby quilts that I quilted for my sales reps for Eon. I finally finished them and I quilted them and I put them in front because I wanted to donate them to her because I felt like she was a blessing. She really blessed me in supporting me in getting me my lasers. So I sent her, I just literally shipped them today. I sent them to her. And, but I have 25. I have some that I have hanging in different rooms. Well, we all have closet quilts. It's bad. And they're beautiful quilts. I've made some beautiful quilt tops. You put one of yours between customers. I started doing that too. And I started getting, because before I had probably like, let me see how many I finished. I finished 1, 2, 3. I probably finished 20 quilts last year because I did a running list of my quilts, and that's what I started doing, putting them in front of my clients. But just recently, since January, I've been so busy working so much that I haven't had the opportunity to do that. But I'm slowing down a little bit, which is a good thing. So now I think I'm gonna, I have 2 quilts of mine that I'm piecing together and I want to finish them. So yeah. Let me see what else. Always one. That's so smart. I've been doing this for so long. I can't believe I did a running list of how many quilts I had. I was so embarrassed with myself, and I don't have an excuse. I have a long arm. I understand like the old ladies that have their long arm, they have quilts when they die and they didn't finish them. I understand like why that happens, but it's so embarrassing when like I have a long arm. Like, what's my excuse? Look at this. Do y'all like this one? I'm gonna look patterns and then I'm gonna make some. On my next live I'll be staining. So what else, guys? What do you want to talk about? How long have we been here? Sometimes I do these and they go forever. Almost 2 hours. We're 2 hours in. All right, I'm going to close it. So what do you want to share with me quickly? Talk to me, peeps. You want to see my earrings? They've been staining. Do y'all like this or do you like natural? Tell me. Whoop. I'm trying to get the window. Those are pretty. Let's see. Anyone else want to ask me anything? Honestly, doing a live stream here, my computer's not giving me a hard time. Usually it starts to lag and it starts to do some dumb stuff. Let's see. You can do 5 quilts per week. You really can. And what yeah, because you could do literally, it's a 2-day work day, or you could. So, Mary, if you do 5 quilts in one day, you could do probably 5 quilts in 2 days, and you can literally have, it's like a part-time job. You could do it. 15 minutes. I'm sorry, Mitchell. It's a hard balance. I love it though. You know what I hate? I just hate the paperwork. I hate the tax paperwork. That's what I hate. But the rest of it, I love the client. Like someone says, I'll never work for people. I love my clients. You know, some of them are persnickety, but some of them are real sweet. Some are just picky. You kind of get to know each client and their expectations of you. And if you give them what they want, like I have one client who, you know, she's very she wants a time frame, and if you follow that time frame, she's happy. Let me see, I've turned down at least a dozen quilts because people want me to do. Oh no, Kathy Wilkins, no. Honestly, now I do embroidery work. I'm turning down some embroidery work because, for example, I'm doing a hat job and I'm having problems with it. And I have problems with clients when I'm trying to communicate with them what's going on so I could do the best job I can, where they don't answer my calls or they don't call me back. I get so frustrated with that because now I'm on hold. Like I feel like I have the job and it's on timeout, it's on hold, and I don't like that because I'm the kind of person, I want to do the job, get it completely done, and give it to the client and move on. I want to go to the next thing. But I have a hat job right now it's 20 hats, and then the client told me that one of the hats is worth $150, like, and I'm already having problems with the logo. I'm like, I just can't. I'm not rebuying a $150 hat. It's ridiculous. So you have to kind of learn as you work what kind of work you want to do and how much time you want to invest. And I'm really learning that now because before I took any work, and I it's just any work sometimes isn't work. Sometimes you lose work when you take work like that. So you're being smart turning down work. I like the natural look. I like the natural look too. Let's see. Do I have natural? Dark walnut. I'm learning about stain. See, when you get into something new, you learn something. You learn about different stains and different. I never thought cherry. So I'm learning something. I like learning. I need this live. Thank you, Linda Rodriguez. Do people ever say your pricings are too high? Yes. And I don't care. I don't care. You get to the point where this is, if, I was going to do a video on lowballers. Don't do work for people who want to change your rates. Refuse work from them. Those are the people who have lost. I've lost money. Do not do work for them. I did a job, and I did a vinyl job. It was a 3-layer vinyl job, and I did a logo on the front and a logo on the back, and it took forever. I was supposed to get paid $12 a shirt. And that is a deal because I did a huge logo, like a big back logo, back panel. I should have charged $12 for the back panel and another $6 for the front panel because the lettering was so small it took forever. And they kept lowballing me. And I gave them a really great rate. I said, okay, $12 for the whole thing. Well, the guy didn't want to pay me, and it was $500 worth of work. It was 50 shirts, $500 worth of work, 50, so it was 100 logos though, because it was 50 shirts front and back. He didn't want to pay me, and so then he said, I want to pay you $10. And then I said, no, you pay me $12. Like, come on. He literally would not. He goes, well, I'm going to give you a check. I said, no, you give me cash. He's like, no. And I said, well, no. And he brought me the shirt. So I make sure that when I do work for people, they bring me the shirt. So like I'm doing a hat job, he brought me the hats. I do not pay for hats. I noticed that when I pay for things, people don't come back and pay me. What happens is if you pay for something, you have to ask them to reimburse you somehow, pay you half, something like that. Because if not, they'll never pick up the work. And you're stuck with work that you paid for and work you did. So this guy, so I had 50 of his shirts. And I even gave him a company, it's called Alpha Border. No, it's a company that you get shirts wholesale. So he ended up paying for these shirts only $2, which is a great deal, or $1.85 or something like that. He got a really great deal. And his secretary brought me the work, and I told the secretary, you need to pick them up. They wanted them early. So I finished them 4 days early, so you need to pick them up. He didn't come and pick them up. And then he wanted to pick them up during the weekend. I said, I'm sorry, I only work Monday through Friday. I do not work in the weekends, just like a regular store does. Like, what happens when you work from home, I've had clients come to my house at 10 at night wanting to drop off a quilt. Like, if you're my favorite client, I'll do that for, but if you're a new client, nah. And so, Monday, I said you could come in Monday, and so he refused to pay me. He refused to pay me. And he's the lowballer. I went and lowered my rates to get the work because he gave me 50 shirts. Well, I lost material, I lost time, and I talk about it a little bit. Like, I gave my daughter $50. I paid my daughter because she helped me. So not only did I lose the money I was going to get, I lost the material, and I lost the time, and I still paid my daughter. Because just because I lost the money doesn't mean she had to. And sure enough, man, I will never do work. For example, there was this lady who came to me and she wanted me to do some laser stuff, and she frustrated me because she literally wanted to quote me the price for the work that I was going to do. And she was lowballing me. And I told her no. And I did figure out what she needed me to do. And I did do it, and I ended up telling her I don't want to do the work. Anytime anybody tries to discount my work, I refuse doing work for them. Because these people, to me, they'll screw you anyway. They'll screw you some other way. They'll just screw you anyway. I also did that with a lady with the quilting. I literally gave her a free quilt for free, and she still wanted to screw me and not pay me the $230 she paid me for the 3 quilts that I did. And 2 of her quilts were king size, and I should have charged her $280 for the one, but instead I did 3 for $230. And so I refuse. If you don't want to pay me, you can't afford me. And if you can't afford me, I can't afford to waste my time with you. So no, I would not change my rates. Your rate is your rate. When you pay the gamble, or when you paid your machine, you paid the rate of the machine that they said it was. Now, if they gave you a special or if they did something else, that's on them. But you paid a hell of a lot of money for your stuff, and they have no right to lowball you. And I literally lost 3 companies. One was a horse bridle company. I started raising my rates because what I was doing for them was, I was doing it for $2, and it was taking me 30 minutes to do a $2 job. And I told them I'm not doing it no more. And they said, well, this is the prices you had before. And I said, yeah, I was dumb. I wasn't thinking that through, was I? And you took advantage of it. And they refused to come to me. But you know what? That 30 minutes, I could do something else, make my own quilts, make my own stuff, play with my toys, hang out with my family. You'd never discount your rates. And if you want to give gifts and bless them, or if you want to bless them with a blessing of batting, but that's you determining your rate, you determining your sale, not them determining. Literally, someone was saying, yeah, I went to this other company, they want to charge a whole bunch more, but hey, will you do it for half that? And I'm like, you're trying to screw me. And then while you screw me, you're probably going to sell what I do, and you're going to double it, and you're going to make double off of my back. Screw you. I'm not stupid no more. And so, no. You just, no. No, that's what I think. Like, if God gave you the thing, God trusted you with it, and he trusted you to even protect yourself from people who want to screw you. Well, the company who screwed me, I kept their shirts, and I ended up posting a video on YouTube, 2 of them, on his shirts that I removed vinyl on. And thank God for YouTube. I ended up making my money back plus more. Thank God he screwed me, because it was an opportunity to make videos that I would have never made. But the first signal of someone screwing you and screwing you out of your work is them lowballing you. Them making you, pushing you, manipulating you to cut your rates. And let me just share how they'll manipulate you. Oh, I have a lot of work for you, so can you discount it? Oh, I'm bringing you 20 quilts. Can you give me a great rate? Because I've had people tell me they're going to give me 20 quilts. They brought me one, and then I gave them the rate for the 20. I never saw them again. And that wasn't fair. They lied to me. So no, don't ever change your rates. And if, you know what, if they're pissed off that you're too expensive, tell them to go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. You don't have time for that. Let them be pissed off. They can't afford you. Good. Let me just tell you this before I go. There was this lady who I did some vinyl, some hats, some Santa Claus hats. Yeah. They were Santa Claus hats. I told her that I would do the name on the hats for like $2. That's when I was stupid, okay? When I was dumb. $2 I would embroider on the hat. Okay? No, I told her $4. $4. Well, she says, well, I'm going to bring you like 10 hats. Can you go cheaper? I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll do it for $2.50. I think I did it for $3. No, I did it for $2.50. I did it for $2.50. I'm an idiot. So I embroidered this big name all across these Santa Claus hats. That jackass, I'm sorry, and I'm a Christian, that jackass didn't want to pay me $20 for the 10 hats she brought me. She goes, she literally grabbed the hats for me, and I said, what are you doing? I go, you need to pay me for the hats. She goes, well, it's only $2. Why do you care? Why don't you just give me the work? And I said, are you kidding me? You're that broke? You can't afford $2? I said, no, You know what? Give me the hats. I'll burn them. I'll do a sacrificial, like, burn the hats in my trash bin. So I feel good about you not having it. I was so mad. She literally was so broke. She borrowed the money from another teacher to give me the $20. I did 10 hats for $2 each, and I couldn't believe that she couldn't afford the $10. And anyone who lowballs you, is someone who probably won't want to pay you no matter what you charge them. And if they think they could lowball you there, they'll try to get you somewhere else. That lady knew that I here like an idiot went to $2, so she thought I was a sucker and wouldn't even take the $2. I told her, you know what? I'll keep the hats. I don't believe in Santa Claus anyway, and I'll burn them. And I go, and then I'll have a feast burning your hats. I told this man who I did work for the other day, he wouldn't, we bartered. So he did a certain job and I did a job for him. He wouldn't do the job. He wouldn't do the job for me. So anyway, he went and picked up part of the job and dropped off another part of the job. And so I let him take it, and I told him, I said, this job, if you don't do the job I am already working for, I'm going to burn them. He looked at me and I said, because this is your material, this cost you. I said, my time costs me. My machines cost me. My skill level cost me. My talent cost me. And just like you want to get paid, I want to get paid. And just like you want to get paid when you do work for me and you want the money up front, you need to do the money up front. Sure enough, man, that dude showed up and he fixed what he was supposed to fix. And he did it. He took care of it because he learned right there, Miss Lorena will burn his material. And I'm sorry, I will burn material. I'll burn it. I'll burn it. I'll donate it. I'll walk all over it to get my frustration out, to release that anger. But you don't let no one take advantage of you ever. And this is the problem when you're new and you're starting off. You're so insecure and you so want the work and you so want the business that you're willing to lowball yourself. And if you want to give a special, like I did 3 quilts, bring me 3 quilts, I'll do one for free, but charge them the regular rate for the 3 and donate the work for the smallest quilt. That's you doing that. That's you making that decision. If you want to give a discount and you give it, that's you. That's you deciding that. But for example, this lady came to me and she wanted me to do some stuff on the laser, and she literally quoted me what she wanted to pay me. And I'm like, I don't work that way no more. No one's going to quote my rates, ever. She didn't pay for my laser. She didn't pay for my equipment. And she's not the one. And it's like they want to use what you paid for their benefit. And that's not, your time, your thread, your decisions, your skill. Don't ever let anyone do that to you. And that's the hardest lesson. And they'll tell you, well, I'm going to bring you 10 quilts. So can you give me a great rate? You tell them, bring me the quilts. And I would say no. Because those people, they won't bring you the quilts. They'll just get the great rate from that one quilt. Or that guy with the t-shirt, he literally wanted me to go another $3 down. And I'm like, no, there's a time where you have to stand up for yourself and not tolerate someone walking all over you. And there's one lady who I did work for, and the next day she screwed me. And the next day she wanted to come back and she wanted me to do work for her. And I said, I'll never do work for you again. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I will never do it. And she's, you'll never do work for me again? I go, no, never. And then she went on Facebook and started trashing me, her stupid stuff that I did. People will try to treat you like they own you because you work for them. No one owns you. This is your business. You run it your way. There's other people, and these are the clients you want, that they never question you. And if they do, it's because, like, they're curious. It's not to try to screw you. I have wonderful clients that even, they give me tips. They give me extra money. They see that I'm trying to be good to them, and they have a good nature about them too, that they want to be good to me back. That's who you want. You want a person who says, okay, I remember this, and I'm going to just share this before I go. When I got my gammal, there was something someone said to me, the guy who was setting up my gammal. I said, what have you learned with all the people that you were setting up gammals with? And he says, I love what he said. He said, what I learned is the people who are picky about little things are the people who can't afford it. I was like, okay. He goes, and people who question the price are people who can't afford it. And at the time, I paid cash for my gammal. I grabbed my gammal and I drug the bar through the floor. And when he and I said, so what do you think of me? He goes, the way you grab the machine and you grabbed it and you let the floor touch it, he goes, you could afford it. He goes, and he goes, the easiness of you, the easiness of your behavior. You weren't questioning everything I did. You weren't nitpicking a scratch. You weren't nitpicking this thing. You weren't nitpicking, well, there's a thread that's undone. He says, because that you're comfortable, he says, I know you're comfortable to pay it. And so when people are nitpicking your price, they can't afford you. They can't afford you. And so save yourself some time and energy, because they're going to find something wrong. And that's happened to me with my lowballers. Like the lady who I did the 3 quilts for $238 or $28. What was it? She literally started nitpicking some stupid crap. I literally was so pissed off at her. I just wrote her a check and gave her the money. I go, here, have the quilting for free. I can't take you. I don't have energy for you. I'm not going to rework the quilt. Because what she was doing is she was nitpicking the 1 quilt that I did. The 2 quilts that I did that she had to pay me for, she was nitpicking them so that on the other 2 quilts that she brought me, she could get those for free. And I just paid her. I said, I don't have time for you, old lady. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. And she goes, well, you need to fix this. And I said, I don't work for free no more. I go, I not only work for free for you, I lost money because I used my thread, I used my batting, I used my time. Get out of my face. Get the hell away from me. Never again. Don't ever do anything for people who lowball your rates. Ever. If you lowball your rates, that's you. The lady who told me, she literally, I literally told her, I said, come pick up your stuff. You're not going to price me. You didn't even give me a chance to figure out what it would cost for me to do the time, because she asked me to laser a couple things. You're not asking, you're just already quoting me what you want to pay me. You're not here to determine my rates. We don't determine Walmart. When you buy a car, you didn't determine the rates. They determine them. And if you want the car, you buy the car. If you don't want the car, you go somewhere else. And let them go somewhere else. Let them waste some other person's time. And this lady who did the quilting to me, she had gone through 4 other long armors, and she did them wrong. And so, trust me, girl, you know what you could do when you don't have that work? You could literally paint your toenails. You could brush your hair. You could do another craft. You could play with your kids. You could go walk in a walk. You could do a whole bunch of stuff and make more money, because the lowballers who lower my rates are people who I've lost time, plus I lost money because I lost material, and and I lost peace. Literally, I lost peace. Now, the great thing about the guy with the t-shirts who screwed me that $500 is I had his shirts. I found a way to remove the vinyl. Another lady came to me and asked me to do vinyl shirts, and I offered her, I'll give you the shirts for free, but for me to do the logo that you want, I'm charging you $18. But I'm giving you a shirt for free. Now, the shirt had like an imprint stain, but once I put the vinyl on it, you don't see it. But she couldn't have gotten a shirt for $1 or $1. So she took 20 of those shirts. I made $18 per shirt, and I also made $20 for those shirts. I made my money back. But I also made my money back on YouTube. But some of you don't have YouTube to make money off of. Some of you can't afford to lose that money. I ended up losing $40 worth of vinyl material. And my daughter, at the time financially, she was really struggling. And If I was in my daughter's situation and here I'm investing $40 of my children's food thinking I'm going to make $500 and then I lose that $500, that can be devastating. And so my lesson is every single lowballer I've dealt with, I refuse to work for. I refuse. Nah. Okay, wait, I'm gonna bring you 10 shirts. What can you give? What's the best deal you could do for me? No deal. Go somewhere else. I don't have time for you. And you don't have time for it, man. I've cried like, oh Lord, like I lost money. And I also like had to pay my daughter. If you have people working for you, and the people you want are the people who are gonna hear about your work, who are gonna love you. I have clients that don't even question me. They're like, okay, I quote them in front of me. This is what it is. And they're like, that's fine. That's who you want. It's fine. Whatever you say, whatever your rate is. And if they don't like you, they'll go somewhere else. And if they like you, they'll stay with you. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever do anything for anybody who tries to quote me what they want to pay me. They're full of crap. Get a deposit. Right now I'm doing a quilt top for someone, and I don't want to do the work, and so I quoted her like, for me to do this work that I don't want to do, I'm charging you this much. And she's like, all right, I'll pay you anything you want. I'll pay you anything you want. That's what you want. You're worth your time. If you go to a doctor and he's going to do heart surgery on you, do you question his rates? No. You don't question nothing, because he's the best doctor to fix your heart. I'm not saying that quilting is like heart surgery, but I am saying you should get paid for what you do. And if you do it well, you should get paid for it. So anything else? That's all I wanted to share. I'm sorry I'm taking more time. I was going to do a video about lowballers, questioners. What else? They're horrible. They're horrible. But I really do thank you for spending time with me. I got to stain a whole bunch of my earrings while I'm chatting with you. I'm trying to. I appreciate you. Do work that you love for people you love. Like I'm doing a hat job right now, and the guy won't answer me back. And I can make probably, what else? I could probably make like $200 on the hat job. But I'm getting frustrated with him because he won't answer me back. I'm on limbo. I understand he's busy. I'm not a storage place either where I'm holding people's stuff. And then what he's going to do is he's going to call me and he's going to want them done yesterday. And he's going to put pressure on me. And that's not fair for me to be under pressure. And then he's going to try to schedule me because I need to hurry up and do them. And I'm not going to hurry up and do anything for anybody when I've been trying to contact you. And I've been trying to do the work. But you have to take care of yourself because nobody else will. And you need to protect your assets that you've invested in because no one else will protect them. And honestly, I feel that God entrusted you with whatever gift that you have. And you are going to have people in your life that will try to prostitute your gifts. And they will try to take advantage of your gift. They'll try to use your gift. They'll try to benefit off of your gift, and you shouldn't allow any of that, because you have no rights to price me when, if you want to do what I'm doing, get your own machine and pay for it and do what I had to do to get it. And so you have to protect yourself. So there's my little, don't change your prices unless you want to. And I change my prices after I have a long-standing relationship with my client. I will do anything for my long-standing clients, and only them will I, you know what, today I want to bless you, I'm giving you a quilt for free. But that's me deciding it. That's me wanting to do that. That's your clients don't determine what you charge ever. And if they say it's too much, I had a lady who I did embroidery work, and she said, that's a lot. And I said, go to Embroider Me. And they went to Embroider Me, and Embroider Me was, I was charging her, I think it was $5 a hoop to hoop it. And she was doing like 30 hoops. And she's like, it's a lot, $5 a hoop. I go to Embroider Me, and I'm okay. Go get a quote from them. Go to them. And she went to Embroider Me just to design what she wanted me to do. I wasn't even charging her a design fee. I was just charging her a hooping fee of me doing the work. The design fee was $150, and for them to do the embroidery, they wanted to charge her $15 a hoop. So they have other people to go to, and they'll find, and that client is now a faithful client of mine, because she knows that that not only am I being fair to myself, but I'm being fair to her, and I'm giving her a great deal. And so I do tons of quilts for her, but don't be afraid to say, go somewhere else. Like the cowboy people who I did horse bridles, and I literally did embroidery on leather. They went to another company, and the other company charged them quadruple what I was raising my rates to, and they can't get what I was giving them unless they buy their own machine. And if they buy their own machine, they're still paying $12,000 to get the machine, and then someone has to learn how to use that machine, and they also have to buy materials and tools, thread, tensioners, hoops, stabilizer. So it's not just a $10,000 investment, it's a $30,000 investment for me raising my rates only $3 a hoop. It's ridiculous. But they got mad and they left, and praise the Lord, I don't have to deal with them, and I'm okay. Like, I have time to do my own stuff. And you'll find clients that really will love you and will love you, and they fit you. And that's why I say, pray for God to bring you the clients that you need, and be aware of the lowballers, or the lowballers and the picky clients. You don't want them in your life. They're the worst. And they're picky because they won't even do what you do. They're misers. They're tightwads. There's people who do have money, and they just want to see if they could screw you. And there's people who don't have money, and they just, they can't afford you. So I think the people who can't afford you are more honest about it. And the people who can't afford you will probably try their best to pay you what you expect. So we're going on 2 hours and 30 minutes, people. I hope everything I shared is worth hearing. And I thank you for spending time with me. I love you guys. I thank you for working with me, because I'm chair-bound. I'm chair-bound. And I love you in the Lord. If you have any more questions, just message me on Lorena's Facebook group. And I really want to encourage you guys just trust yourself and believe that you're worth whatever you charge, and you're comfortable doing the work for it. You deserve it. I deserve what I get paid. So sending you guys just bye-byes. I love you in the Lord. Bless you in Jesus' name. Ooh, 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 ooh. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching me. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you're a lurker, please subscribe. I don't care either way. I just thank you for the time that you guys have given me. Thank you for being with me today and working. I hope you liked today. Love you. Let me see if I can fix this. Bye.